what's up guys, and thanks for tuning into the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Saint Seiya Saint Cloth Myth EX from the Soul of Gold miniseries, Gemini Saga God Cloth. So, starting off with the box, we see this is a very nice box. We got Saga himself in his gold god armor on the side. And we also get a kind of like a quick sketch of the Gemini Saga God Cloth, which I think looks really amazing. On the top, we got Saint Cloth Myth EX Gemini Saga God Cloth. We see it's from the Soul of Gold miniseries. And we got this Saint Cloth Myth EX symbol. Now, on the top here, some of you keen-eyed observers will probably notice that there is an error here. This is the Gemini cloth. Yet, if you look at these symbols right here, some of you guys that are pros at astrology will know that this is actually the Cancer symbol. And this was an error that Bandai themselves acknowledged later on, and they were like, okay, we'll give you guys the correct version of the box. Now, sadly, only residents of Japan, those living in Japan, were eligible to get the correct version of the box mailed to them. For me, over here in the Americas, that was not the case, so I'm just gonna have to stick with this incorrect error box. But you know what? It's okay. It still looks amazing. On the side here, we got him throwing one of his attacks. I just really like the asymmetrical wings here. We got the angel on the side, and we got the devil on the other side. On the other side, we have that Godcloth object mode. And on the back, we got him throwing his signature attack, the Galaxian Explosion. We got a pose, the object mode, and all these different faces that he has. And on the bottom here, we just got a bust shot of Gemini Saga, and a bunch of words and descriptions, and that is it. So let's put this box off to the side. Let's do this side because there's not much room over there. And let's bring in the object mode first. So here we have the Godcloth object mode. Like I said, it just looks amazing. I really like the asymmetrical nature of this cloth. We got the angels on one side, and we got the devil on the other side. And this is a great kind of like a callback to the figure himself, or the character himself, because in the original show, he was always torn between his two personalities. He had a good personality and he had an evil personality that was always trying to take over. And that was actually what happened when he ended up killing the original Pope. Because his evil side took over, because he was unhappy of what the decision that Pope made. And so he wanted the power, and his evil side was like, you know what, I'm just going to take control. So he took control, killed the Pope, did all that bad stuff, and that's why we have the story of Saint Seiya. So I think this is a great, just a callback to that, and I really love the design. So we got two kind of separate bodies here. And they're touching, we see in the middle, their hands are touching, so they're still connected, but they're much more separated than, say, the original gold cloth. You see, you've got all these nice little designs here. That's the thing with these god cloths. They all have these extra intricacies and extra details that I just really like. Let's put them off to the back. Let's bring in our figure here. Now, this is the exact same figure, pretty much, as the original Gemini figure. Got nice long hair. Still kind of frosty because I barely really touched this. Still frosty on his body as well. Got a nice black jumpsuit. And the joints aren't bad on this, so that's pretty good. It should be able to hold up all this metal. Now the face, I think this actually looks a little bit more... the expressions are softer than, say, the original one. I'm actually going to bring that original one out right now. This is the regular gold release, and if we look at these two faces, we see that this one, the expression is just a little bit softer. This one looks really stern and really serious, and almost sharper features, where this one has the eyes are a little bit more rounder. But everything else you see is the exact same, pretty much. The arms are a little different if you look at the shoulders. And other than that, the feet are different, of course, because they're two separate cloths. And on the back, we see the hair is pretty much the exact same deal. So going over articulation real quick. Head is on a swivel and a hinge. Base of the neck is on a ball joint. We got our butterfly joints here. And we got a rotation here at the elbow that goes all the way around. We got our lift that goes up to 90. Bicep swivel here. Double jointed elbow. ball hinge at the wrist. We got diaphragm extension for the armoring process, but we also have ab crunch that goes forward that much and back that much. Not so much going back. We got the hair popping off. Everything's falling apart on me today. There we go. And we got a swivel here at the waist. We got legs that kick forward to 90 and back to just below 90. We got splits that go out to the side. We also got a thigh rotation here. Got double jointed knee that pretty much goes to 180. We got a ankle swivel, ankle rocker that goes in this much and out that much. Got a pivot that goes up this much and down this much, as well as a toe pivot that goes up that much. So pretty good articulation for a Mythcloth EX. Of course, nothing compared to a Figuarts. So let's put him off to the side here. Make sure he can stand first of all. Now, I do notice that his ankles are a little bit more looser, say, than the regular gold version, and that might be a little bit of an issue later on when we armor him up, because he might be doing the splits or falling on us. Alright, so this is the regular gold cloth version, and if you remember me mentioning in that original video about this figure, you can see that this is pretty much one figure still. It has two separate faces. We got one face on this side, make sure that arm does not pop off again, and we got another face on this other side. So it's basically we got two entities living in one body, whereas this one the entities are kind of separating, and I really like that. Just the imagery and the figurativeness behind all that. Boom. Of course, this one, of course, looks much better, has all these extra details, and we got these magnificent wings. So yeah, let's bring this guy off to the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the armor off of this Godcloth object, and we're going to armor Saga up, and I will be right back. And here we are with Saga all adorned in his Gemini gold Godcloth. Here we see very, very nice looking. Lots of intricate details. Mostly a whitish gold with some more yellowish gold highlights here and there. Of course, we got the beautiful wings here. We got the angel wings on this side, and we got the devil wings on the other side. I think that just really completes his look as the Gemini Saint. Now, let's take a look at some of the accessories that this guy comes with. Let's start off with the faces here. So we got the regular stern face that he has. Here we also have a screaming face. We have a closed eyes smirking face. And we also have the closed eyes regular face, non-smirking face. And to switch the faces, all we're going to do is we're going to pull off the front hair piece, and we're also going to remove the face piece. And let's give him the screaming face. So we're going to take these two small pegs, we're going to peg them onto the bottom set of holes here on the head. Plug that right in, and we're going to bring our hair piece, we're going to pop that back on, and here we got Gemini Saga with a different face. Now, if you want to give him the helmet instead of the hair, first of all, let's take a look at the helmet. Here's the helmet. I think it looks really weird. It just makes him look like a clown, kind of, because he has all these big spikes, and it just looks really tall and just really bulky, and doesn't really look very, well, I mean, it kind of looks like a crown, if you think about it. And I guess that's fitting, because he is the strongest gold saint. I guess you could say he's the king of the gold saints. So, to put the helmet on, what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to disassemble the helmet. We're going to remove this small red jewel here. We're also going to split this helmet right down the middle, just like that. We're going to leave that there for now. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the front hairpiece again, but this time we're also going to remove the back hairpiece. Just pull that right off. We won't be needing those anymore. So what we're going to do now is actually we're going to clamp the sides of this helmet onto his head. We're just going to do that right there, just like that on that side, and with this over here on that side. And we just want to make sure that actually sits flush on his head, just like so. And we're going to take our red jewel here. We see that there's a kind of a rectangular peg right there that's going to go on this little hole, rectangular hole on the top of his forehead. We're just going to plug that right in. And here we have Gemini Saga with his clown helmet. Personally, I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, of course, it completes the look of him as a gold god, so I'm not going to argue too much with that. Next, let's take a look at the hands. He has a bunch of hands. He has the fists that are on him right now. He has two completely open palms. He has two kind of half palm claw hands. He has two, I'm guessing these are like energy blast charging hands or gripping hands, something like that. It's really hard to describe. It's like, I guess, gorilla knuckle hands. And he also has a pointer finger hand, which was actually used for his signature attack, which was a mind control attack, I believe. I think it was the Imperial Illusion Fist or something like that, where you can actually use to control people's minds and make them do his bidding. Now, to change the hands, let's do this hand over here. We're going to grab the forearm. We're going to grab the hand, just pop that right off, and make sure he can stand. No face plants here. We're going to take this hand arm, we're just going to peel that right off, just like that. And let's give him this half claw hand. We're going to take these two pegs on the inside of the armor. I'm going to peg them onto these little holes here. And then we're going to peg it back on his hand. Make sure you got one finger on his elbow and holding this armor piece back, because if you just push in like this, it'll just pop the armor right off. Just give that a push. Nice crisp click. And here we have him with a completely different hand. And still, no face plants allowed. So there's that for all of his accessories. Now, to finish the video, let's take a look at some comparisons here. So here I have the regular gold Gemini Saga, as we see here. Very, very similar. Let me bring them closer so you can actually take a look at the armor. Make sure he stands, no face plants. If we look at the shoulders here, we can see that it's pretty much the same shape. We got this hexagon here for the front of the shoulders. We got a nice flat top, and we got kind of like a round covering on the outside of the shoulders. And basically everything here is kind of just augmented of what was here. There's now more engraving on his armor here, and the tops of the shoulders are now pointy rather than just straight flat. And also we get more points here on the side of his shoulders as well. And of course we got more engravings here on his waist parts. You can see, if you take a look here, even the waist armor is very similar. You got that yellow hexagon in there. And the leg armor, you see, very similar. We got the huge knee pad and the ankle guards as well. It's very similar. There's no doubt that this is the exact same cloth. It's just that this is the augmented form of this one right here. Let's bring that off to the side. And I want to bring in another figure real quick so you guys can actually take a look. Now, in this video of this guy right here, the God of War Ares, I mentioned that the armor on him is the exact same armor as the Gemini God Cloth. And if I bring them close, you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. You can see that if you look at the shoulders, it's the exact same, the waist the exact same, legs the exact same. The only difference is that this is the newer figure, is now in a silver and red coloration, whereas this one is more of a yellowish whitish gold coloration. Of course, the wings are different because these wings are meant to go with the Gemini cloth, whereas this one is meant to go with the God of War. And of course, also this one has the signature Gemini helm, while this one has the Spartan type helm made for the God of War himself. So yeah, there is that. So to finish off this video, I want to say I really do like this figure. Just on my copy, the only issue like I have is the ankles. They tend to kind of tilt in and out too easily. They're very loose, and if they tilt out too far, he's just going to do a faceplant. So I always have to make sure that the ankles aren't rotating too much, just so that he can just stay perfectly balanced. As for the armor, it looks amazing. I love this guy's wings. I think the wings here are one of the best on the gold gods, and probably even they would even top some of the other wings on, say, actually the actual gods themselves. So yeah, now if you enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. Also, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications, as that really helps YouTube get to notice my channel and further encourages me to put out more quality content. And until next time guys, take care, bye.